Hello YouTube, it's comic book video time, and today I have a special video for you. Today is going to be top 50 comic books in my collection, but I'm doing it with a twist. I'm going to do top 50 comic books that are slabbed, that are 9.8s. So no 9.6s, no 7.0s, no 4.0, no raw books. Everything today is going to be 9.8 and slabbed, all slabs. Now, I was called out by a YouTuber who seems to like my collection. His name is Beauty Comics. He is fantastic, and he did a video showing off his top 50 books where he called out about 20 different people in the community to show off their collections, and he mentioned me by name. So I've never been actually called out or challenged or anything like that. So I thought it would be interesting to do that. Beauty's one of the best YouTubers out there for comic books. I love his collection and his enthusiasm. He's just a great YouTuber, and I dedicate this video to Beauty Comics. So I hope you like it. It's going to be all 9.8s today, all slabbed. No raw books or anything like that. So I wanted to give myself a higher degree of difficulty to make this video because I've never done a top 50 before. Okay, enough jibber jabber. Let's get down to business. Here we go. Book number 1. Here we go. Oh, and these are not ranked in any order. These are just random. So you can rank them yourself if you like. So these are pretty random, but my top 50-ish slabs that I have. So let's go. Here it is. Ultimate Fallout 4, first appearance of Miles Morales, first printing. This is not the facsimile. This is the real deal. You can tell because I think the facsimile has like a little red box or something over here. This is the real deal, so make sure you check that out if you're ever going to get one, because this book has gotten expensive in price and you don't want to be duped. All right, so that's the first one. So I'm going to show that. So here we go. So the next one is A-Team number 1, and we have African American alert. African American alert. African American alert. That's a staple on Beauty Comics channel because he has one of the greatest collections on YouTube of comic books related to African Americans, and every time he displays one, he always lets you know the African American alert. So I figured I would return the little bit of an homage for Beauty. So yeah, as you can see, A-Team number 1, 9.8. There's Mr. T. This show was such a big deal when I was a kid. Love this so much. Great, great show. Used to be on NBC. Great. Awesome. Love this. All right. Next up is Secret Wars number 8. Origin of the Black Suit, 9.8. Classic book, been homaged like crazy. Everybody loves this cover, and I do too. I'm no exception. So, had to have it. Okay, moving right along. Here's Silk number 1. This is known as the Comics Pro edition. This is a very tough book to get in high grade, low printed, hard to get in a 9.8. I think they call this a sketch variant is what they refer to it as, but yeah, pretty cool. Tough to get. Silk's number 1, Comics Pro. Okay, oh, here we go. I had to show this book. This is the first slab that I ever bought just to see if I like slabs or not. This is Grim Fairy Tales number 100. This is from the San Diego Comic-Con. This is the first book I ever got that was in a slab, and I wanted to get a 9.8 to see what it looked like, to see if I liked it. So I had to include this if I was going to do a video like this. So, because this is the book that started me off. I think I got this in like 2016, I want to say. Whenever they went to like this newer case that they have now as opposed to like the older one. So I wanted to see if I liked it, and sure enough I did. And it was funny when I got this first slab, it was the only slab I had, and I was like, okay, what do I do with it now? Because I had nowhere to put it. It's so much different in size from the other books that I have. So yeah, cool book. Only 750 ever made. First slab I ever got. Okay, this is Lady Killer, her first appearance. This is Emerald City Comic Con. I believe only 500 of these were ever made, and even less of them in a 9.8. Emerald City Comic Con is in Seattle. That's supposed to be the Seattle skyline, that building there. Yeah, it's supposed to be the Northwest. I love this cover. I love how she's got the dagger with the blood behind her back. Just a sinister cover. Love that. Tough to get in a 9.8. Okay, moving right along. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is another Grimm Fairy Tales book. This is number 101. This is an art germ. Love how she made to look like a genie. She's holding the genie's bottle there and everything. Art germ cover, just fantastic. Love this one. This is one of the early books I got of art germ that turned me on to his artwork. Not a whole hell of a lot of these out there, but just a beautiful, beautiful book. I have a few of these raw, but when I saw a slab book come up, I had to get it. Just spectacular. Love it. Okay. Oh, here is Ghost Spider. This is Ghost Spider number 1, signed by Shannon Mayer. I love the hot pink. I love how Gwen's looking there. So yeah, pretty nice. Got a little booty Gwen going on there. Not too shabby. Love it. Because I'm a sucker for covers where you can see weather happening in the background. And here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's like raining. So yeah, that's a real cool one. I have this one in a Virgin no trade dress thing, but it's not signed. So I figured I'd show off the signed one today. Shannon Mayer signature right there. Pretty cool. Awesome. So next up is, here we go. Here is Darth Vader number 1. This is the harder to get 5th printing. It's in yellow. It's a first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum. I think lately they've gone to just call him Chrysanthemum. They dropped the Black Chrysanthemum part, I think, when they put him on that Obi-Wan show. So he's like a Wookiee bounty hunter. This is his first appearance in comic books. And this 5th printing is very obscure and tough to get, especially in high grade, because a lot of people just didn't take care of them. Or I don't think they were ordered very well, because it was the 5th printing, and there'd already been 4 previous printings of it. So the market was somewhat, I don't want to say oversaturated, but a little bit, So, okay. Here's another one that I love. This is Wonder Woman Special 1977 or 77. It's made to look like Linda Carter from 1977 TV show. Love that. This is the 1:25 ratio variant. Not easy to get because it's a square bound book. I have 2 raw copies of this, and then when this came along, I just jumped on it, had to have it, because I wasn't exactly sure if mine would get a 9.8 if I submitted them or not. I just wanted to have one and not mess around, because this is just such a beautiful cover. So Wonder Woman 77, number 1, 1:25 ratio variant. Beautiful book. Love that one. Okay, let's see. All right. I have 2 slabs on here that are from CBCS, and this is one of them. They're going to all be CGC except for these 2. That's Infinity Gauntlet number 1, signed here by Jim Starlin, and I met him at Terrificon in the summer of 2021, and he was nice enough to sign my books and everything, and had them slabbed by CBCS because CGC was not at that con, because it was still like the pandemic was going on, and there was no one really. They weren't there, and I think there might have been a convention in another city somewhere, because I went to Terrificon, which is in Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. So yeah, Infinity Gauntlet number 1, love that, signed by Jim Starlin. Love it. So not only do I love that one, but I love this cover a little more. Not as prestigious as the first one. This is Infinity Gauntlet number 4. I just always love this cover where he says, "Come and get me." Yeah, I just love that with the planets and everything. Real nice. I think the newsstand edition of this one has like the barcode box down in the lower corner there, and it's kind of obtrusive. So this is one of the rare times where I think the direct edition is better, because it doesn't have the thing in the way. And in fact, I think they put it. No, they didn't put a. I guess they didn't do that. They didn't put any kind of barcode or any kind of like little Spider-Man box or anything, which is great because it shows off more of the art, and I just love that. And covered by the great late George Perez. But this is signed again by Jim Starlin. just like the previous one. Great stuff. Love that. So, moving right along. Let's see what else we have today. Okay. Aha. This is Darth Vader #1, similar to the other one I just showed you, but this is Alex Ross, 1:50 ratio variant. Just love this. Also, first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum or Chrysanthemum or BK, or whatever. Have it your way, BK, right? So yeah, 1:50 ratio, 9.8. Great book, Alex Ross. I love this cover. I just love the stormtroopers in the background. Alex Ross, man, when he's right on, it's hard to beat him. He's spectacular. Love him. So, ooh, okay. Here's an interesting book. This is Lady Death. This book was some kind of Kickstarter book. I think it's down the bottom. It says it only like 50 were ever made. So yeah, it's made to look like the Roaring 20s. And boy, she's a smoke show. She's hot. And it's one of the Lady Death covers where she has more clothes on and she actually looks pretty good, because most of her stuff, she has less clothes, as you probably know. So yeah, love this one. It's made to look like the Roaring 20s and got this like Art Deco, 1920s font going on. Cool book. Love it. All right, moving right along. Oh, here's a cool one. This one is Black Hat #1, signed by Peach Momoko. Yeah, love this one. This is spectacular, because I love the jewels and what she did. And all of this stuff here, like this purple and white looking stuff, is supposed to be her hair. And I just love how it just goes on and on and on. And she's got her jewels and everything. Just a great book. And Peach signed out here in silver. And one of the things she did, is I'll just show you there, is she signed here like in the Japanese style, that she signs her name, and then she signed in like with English letters, Peach Momoko. So it's kind of, I don't want to say double signed, but I noticed like her more newer books don't have English and Japanese style. Yeah, so this is a really cool book. I think this was limited to like 100 or something, because it's the the Virgin variant. So yeah, this is one of the Peach Momoko books I absolutely love. Good stuff. Okay, moving right along. Okay, I got this one. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't take it out of the bag. I hope it's showing good. This is Clone Wars #2, second appearance of Ahsoka Tano in comic books. I know she appeared in magazines and some like graphic novels or some other stuff, but I'm just saying regular comic books. So yeah, so this is her second appearance, 9.8, Clone Wars #2. Not a lot of them out there, I don't think. Okay, moving on. Okay, here's an interesting one. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man #4, first appearance of Silk. This shows like that she, when Peter was bitten, she also was bitten. So this book is highly printed. There's a lot of copies out there, and I think it's kind of come down in price for 9.8, because there's a ton of them out there. But if you're looking for something slightly harder to find, it looks almost the same, but it's different. And it would be this one, where it says Amazing Spider-Man #4, but right here it says second printing, right here. And I hope that's showing up good. So I'll bring it a little closer, see if you can see it there. See that? Where it's up in the corner where the #4 is, it says second printing. So yeah, these ones are tougher to find and more expensive. I think it's probably like maybe double or triple what the regular first edition is worth. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's a lot tougher, and that's what attracted me to it, because I always like the ones that are a little harder to get. So those are more fun. All right, so let's see here. This is a nice exclusive to JTC, John Tyler Christopher, his online store. Signed Princess Leia, action figure variant. Love this. I think you could only get this through his store. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Signed. So nice book. Show that one off. Okay. I have a lot of books here. Okay, here's a pretty cool one. This is Incredible Hulk 441. homaging the Pulp Fiction movie poster. So it's pretty cool. You can see that I think she's holding like a piece of celery instead of a cigarette in her hands. And then there's all kinds of cool little things. Like there's a thing over here. It's supposed to be for the Fantastic Four. And there's a Punisher pillow over here. Captain America, you know. Yeah, it says Hulk Fiction down here if you can see it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool, cute homage book that I think is pretty cool. So, moving right along. Let's see what else we have today. Okay, here's, oh, it's still in the bag. I'm sorry I didn't take it out. But yeah, this is Amazing Spider-Man 362, second appearance of Carnage. I like this cover better than the 361, which is Carnage's first appearance, only because I love Venom so much, and he appears on here. So it's fun for me because I like them all together. And yeah, it's also like a newsstand too. I think in recent times these books have come down, but I love it so much. It's just a great book. I love the artwork on that. It's great with Carnage, Venom, and of course Spidey on there. So this is the second appearance of Carnage. So, ooh, here's a nice one. Grim Fairy Tales 83 Secret Retailer Variant. So this was a book that was, I guess, given, I think, like one per store. So yeah, yeah, she's having a nice time for herself there. Look at those frames she has. I don't think she got them from like Lens Crafters or the Eye Doctor at Walmart or anything like that. So yeah, so she's having a good time. So nothing needs to be said about that. Just good stuff. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Okay. So, okay. All right, here's a cool book. This is super tough to get. This is Little Mermaid 30th anniversary cover from Dark Horse Comic Books. This came out a few years ago for the 30th. And I believe there's only 6 or 7, maybe 8 9.8s on the census. So yeah, love that artwork with Ariel. Kind of curious that Disney decided to go with Dark Horse to do this cover when they own Marvel Comics, but oh well, they did what they did. So beautiful cover, 9.8, 30th anniversary of Ariel. Digging that. So okay, moving on. Oh, I love this cover. This is Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales together. I love this variant. You see down the bottom, there's Miles. He's got a web and he's trying to get Gwen's cell phone away from her. And if you know anything about Spider-Gwen, she loves her cell phone. And he's going to have a tough time getting that away from him. So this was part of like a set of like 3 or 4 books. But I like this one the best because, you know, she's given the peace sign and she just looks pretty happy there. And Miles is trying to get that phone away from her, and it ain't gonna happen. So dig that. So, all right, moving on. Let's see here. Okay, this is Dr. Aphra number 6, Jen Bartel, 1 in 25 ratio variant. This thing is tough to get, and it is hard to find in good condition because I don't think a lot of people at these comic shops ordered this because it's not really a landmark issue or anything. I don't think it's just a super great cover by Jen Bartel, and it's kind of expensive, but not easy to get and really hard to get in 9.8. So love having that. Awesome. So okay, moving on. Let's see here. So let's go. Oh, this book may be the most iconic Wonder Woman cover from the 1990s. This is a Brian Boland cover. It's a 9.8. I think there's like less than 60 of these on the census. I thought there would be way more, but I think this thing is a tough thing to grade. Excuse me. And so I got this one, and within a short time of getting this one, I saw that this is a direct edition. I saw that for less money, I could get the newsstand edition. And these books are from 1993, so this is where it starts to matter, and it's not like a 50-50 split like I think it was in the middle 80s. So yeah, so these books are not easy to get, and the newsstand, I believe this is the only one I've ever seen in the 9.8. I'm sure the other ones out there, I've just never seen it. Most of the time when I see it, it's this one, the direct edition in the lower left corner, where it's got the little Wonder Woman symbol in the white box there. So that would be the direct edition, and then this here would be the newsstand edition. Tough to get, and believe it or not, this one here was less expensive than this one. So I bought them both in like the same month, I want to say, a while back, but it's not easy to get, and beautiful cover, and it's been, I think they made like figurines and statues and posters and all kinds of like merch for Wonder Woman with this image. Brian Boland from 1993. Great book. Glad to have it. Okay, moving on. Okay, Joshua Middleton, Batgirl 23. This was a book that might have been, what, from 2018, I believe? That might have been like the cover of the year back then. It's come down in price, I believe, but just beautiful, beautiful book. Man, that was so nice. That's probably the best Joshua Middleton Batgirl cover that he did, because he did a whole bunch of them back then. And yeah, I love this book. Tremendous. So proud to have that one in my collection. Oh, here we go. This is another Alex Ross. This is a 1 in, man, is that a 1 in 25 or 1 in 50? I can't remember. But it's Princess Leia #1. Alex Ross, I absolutely love that. You know, I love her with this pistol that she has, and the TIE fighters come in, and it looks similar to how she looked on one of the early movie posters for the original Star Wars from 1977. It's kind of harkening back to that. Yeah, gorgeous. Love that. Love her legs, everything, just beautiful. Alex Ross, great, tremendous. Love his work. All right, so let's see, what else do we have? Speaking of another great artist, this would be Wonder Woman 184, Adam Hughes. I love this cover because it's got like the modern Wonder Woman on the left meeting the old time Golden Age Wonder Woman on the right. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. And this is a tricky book when it's graded, because it's got like that fake aging on it. So it's hard to tell like what's a defect and what's intentional, because all of this like aging and all of this stuff where it's made to look old is intentional. And that's part of the art that they were going for, because they're trying to make it look weathered and old looking. So this is a tricky book where, depending on the grader, you may or may not get a 9.8. So I bought this already graded, because I didn't want to mess around with that. Because somebody might see it, what looks like a defect, but it's really, you know, the way that they intended it to be, and knock you on the grade for that. So I don't want to mess around with that stuff. So, all right, so moving right along. Oh, okay. This is another Lady Killer book that I have. This is the second printing, first appearance, but second printing in the red background. The first printing, I believe, has like a green or like aqua kind of color. I have a couple of nice copies of it that I didn't realize I don't have the first printing in a slab, but I have the Emerald City Comic Con one that I showed you earlier, and this second printing. And I have a few raw copies that are very nice of the first printing. And I'm going to pick one out and see if I can submit it and just add it to this, because I love this. This is one of the best indie comic books that I ever read. It's about like a housewife who's like an assassin on the side. So it's set in like the 1960s, and it's very interesting that she's like sort of a housewife and by day, and you know, and then has like a side gig where she's an assassin and she's killing people. So that was just fantastic. Love that. Real nice. So the clothes look very like, you know, like Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis from the 60s and all that. Just great stuff. Okay, here we go. This is Captain Carter #1. I love this David Nakayama cover. I love the Virgin variant. I love with the Union Jack, which is a British flag there. Just love this so much. This is a great one. It's so much better than the one that has the trade dress. Now, I'm not really a snob for all that. you know, I don't really care usually, but in some cases when you have the artwork without the trade dress, it just looks so much better. And this would be the case for this one. Love this. David Nakayama, Captain Carter #1. Good stuff. All right, moving on. So let's see what else I got. Here we go. Here is Kanan, Last Padawan, #6. The community has spoken, people. Sabine Wren, first appearance in this versus her, I guess, like first full appearance versus her like cameo in #1. I do have the #1, but not all the books could make this video. I had to say no to some of them, believe it or not. You should have seen the books that I did say no to, but this is the book that people seem to gravitate to more. This is Kanan #6, first full appearance of a lot of the characters for that, including Sabine Wren. So yeah, there's that. So I think it may be coming down in price lately, but I'm not exactly sure. But oh wow, here's another cool indie book. This is Bone Parish #1. I love this black cover. Man, this thing is so tough. Just like fingerprints and any kind of like little ticks just jump out at you. This is a story, another great indie story where the cremated remains become like a narcotic, like a drug to get people high, and just crazy. So like you can see that all this is made to look like cocaine, and down here you can cut it with the razor blade. So yeah, it's supposed to be like cremated remains. So think of like cremated remains and like the ashes and like a mix of like cocaine together that gets you like super high and just nuts. So this book is tough to get. I didn't even want to mess with this, trying to grade it. I bought it slabbed already because I loved it so much. I think it's, I don't think they were easy to get because it is very, very condition sensitive. Those black covers will kill you. But yeah, great indie book. I love that. So, okay. Oh, this is a book that I got recently and I showed off in my most recent video. This is Spider-Man Life Story #3. This is a 1:25 ratio variant, homaging the 80s. It's supposed to be a story where it follows Spider-Man through the decades, like in the 60s, I guess he's a teenager. In the 70s, he's probably like in his 20s. And then in the 80s, he's probably like in his 30s. So here you got the Lamborghini and the Twin Towers. And then MJ is supposed to look like Cindy Crawford. And of course, Black Suit Spider-Man was all the rage during the 1980s. I love that. He's hanging off the helicopter. Just fantastic. Totally love this book. So 1:25 ratio, tough to get. Not necessarily expensive, but just a tough find. So, okay. Moving on. So let's see. Okay. So here's a book that was very exciting last year, I want to say. Was it 2021, right, there it is. That is a Warren Lowe. The minimal trade dress, black and gold. Yeah, just love that. Man, it speaks for itself. There's another version of this where there's more copies printed, but instead of having the trade dress like this, it says black and gold, and it's right across here, just where you don't want it, because you want to see that. Who wouldn't? So, yeah, so there's less of these, and I think this one is more expensive. I love this so much. I got this and bought it online. I submitted this myself, and I'm so glad that it came back in a 9.8, because it's one of those like square bound books, and those books sometimes have like dings and little like chips and all kinds of problems, because they can be tough. But yeah, Warren Lowe, love that. Some people say Warren Lau, but I believe it's Warren Lowe. So okay. Oh, another cool book is Jen. Let me see. Yeah, that is a Jen Bartel, America #8. Yeah, I believe this is a 1:25 ratio variant. I love the cover on this. This was strictly a cover buy. I'm not into this series at all. I don't read it, I don't collect it, anything, but I was just so smitten with this cover. It's just beautiful, and I submitted this myself, and it came back in 9.8. I'm so thrilled with that, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful cover. Because a lot of the books from this series, I don't really care for the covers too much, but this one is fantastic. Love this very much. So happy to have that. Good stuff. All right, moving on. So what else do we have here? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I may as well get this out of the way. Okay. This is Dr. Aphra's first appearance of Darth Vader #3. This is the blue cover. That's how you tell it's the first appearance if you're not good at reading the barcodes. So this is the blue one, which is the first appearance. This like reddish orange one is the second appearance. And then the third printing is this green one. Also it's the first appearance of these two droids, her like murder droids they call them. So yeah, they're kind of like a cult favorite amongst Dr. Aphra readers. So that's a third printing, and each one gets a little more rare as you go along. And then the fourth printing, this is a real tough one to get in a 9.8 because they didn't make a lot of these. So this is in a, it looks similar to the first printing. It's purple, and right here it says fourth printing, and it's like purple instead of blue like the first one. You can tell there's a slight difference. I don't know if it's showing up very well on the camera or not, but yeah, that one is more expensive, and I think it's starting to come down in price a little because a lot of books have been doing that, but you know, I don't really sell or flip or do anything like that. My whole life I've only sold one comic book, and that was to a buddy, and you know, so I get them when I can, and you know, if they go up and down in price, that's good, but you know, I'm not too overly concerned about it if it goes down a little because it's never leaving my collection for a while anyway. So yeah, fourth printing, tough to get. And then there's one that's pretty hard that also like that. I have 2 copies of this. I showed it in my CGC ungrading video. Both of them came back in 9.8s. This is the same book, but it's the LaRocca 1:25 ratio variant. So this one's tough to get to. Pricey, expensive. This is a good one though. I like the cover. Pretty cool. It reminds me of that scene in Empire Strikes Back where you know, Darth Vader tells Luke Skywalker about his who his father is. Spoiler alert. So it kind of looks like that, like to me, like how that is. So pretty cool. You know, 1:25 ratio variant for that one. So pretty cool. All right, let's keep it rolling. So this is Wonder Woman #50. This is a convention exclusive, and I think maybe was it C2E2? I'm not sure. So yeah, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. I love this cover so much. This is for the original of the 2 Wonder Woman movies that she did. Oh no, actually, wait a minute. What does it say? Let's see here. Let's see. It says convention exclusive. All right, yeah. So this is, yeah, I love that. Gal Gadot. Yeah, I love her as Wonder Woman. The last movie wasn't as good as the first Wonder Woman movie, but this is from the first one. I love that, and it was an interesting choice that they went with World War One. But you know, interesting. So you don't see a lot of World War One material. So, all right, moving on. Let's see. Oh, this book, man, what a pain in the neck this book is. Okay, this is The Force Awakens #1. This is a 1:10 ratio, I want to say. And I went to Midtown Comics on Lexington Avenue in New York City when this first came out. And so many of the copies had like dings on them and fingerprints and everything like that. And I was literally holding about maybe 10 or 12 copies in my hand, and I could not find one that was anything close to being minty. It was just horrible. It was one of the worst like new books I've ever seen. And when I saw that, I knew I had to get it in the 9.8 at some point. First appearance of Rey, first appearance of Captain Phasma, Kylo Ren, and Finn. Yeah, first appearance of all those people. But being that it's a black cover makes it super tough, and had so many spine ticks and everything on it. And then when the graded books started showing up, a lot of them had what do you call it, Newton rings on them, and it was just a nightmare. And I wanted to get a nice copy that didn't have anything wrong with it. just looking at this book is making me nervous because it's so condition sensitive, and I love the artwork on that. That's the movie poster. Yeah, absolutely love that. Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, all that. So yeah, 1 in 25, 1 in 10. Sorry. Yeah, so I left it in the bag. Sorry, I should have taken it out, but I hope it's showing through on the video. So nice book. So all right, moving on. So, here's something very interesting to talk about. Ghost Spider #1, Clayton Crane, Virgin variant, and signed at the top, as you can see, by Clayton Crane. Yeah, he's immersed himself in some controversies lately in the comic book industry. So, not going to comment on that too much, but I'm sure you know, or you can look it up. Clayton Crane. Still love the Ghost Spider. All right. Good stuff. So, here we go. Here's another Artgerm cover. That's Oz 1 in a 9.8. Yeah, I saw The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy never really looked like that to me. So, yeah, she's looking awfully strong now. I guess working on the farm and drinking all that fresh water and wheat and, I don't know, barley, whatever the hell they have out there. But, yeah, so, nice one, right? So, yeah, it speaks for itself. Artgerm, great cover. So, let's see, what else do we have today? Okay, let's mix it up a little. This one I love. This is let's see, Rocketeer Adventures #1. That's supposed to be Betty Page. That's a Dave Stevens cover. So you can see, like, the guy opens the door, and this guy here is saying, "What's the meaning of this? Who are you?" He's taking these pictures of her, and yeah, she's except for her gloves and her shoes, she's being photographed bare-assed. So yeah, real nice. And he's saying, "Wow." Yeah, I would say that too if I opened the door. So yeah, just a great cover. Love that. When I saw it, I had to have it. I was just like, damn, Dave Stevens, great stuff. Rest in peace. Gone too soon, Dave Stevens. So awesome. So, all right, getting down there. Let's see. Here's a cool book. This is Mike Mayhew, G.I. Joe 273. Yeah, so he signed it here. This is like I want to say 1 in 500, something like that. That's a Baroness. Yeah, she's looking pretty healthy, right? Got 2 nice big guns. So yeah, love that cover, man. That is a good one. Love that. So let's see. Yeah, love that. So Mike Mayhew signature right here, and then this is like printed on. So that's his sign in the book, and then this is the thing that I guess is already on there. So that's pretty cool. Okay, what else do we have for you today? This is a cool Boba Fett book. Yeah, digging that. Let's see, this is, what book is this? Dr. Afra 24. Just a cool Boba Fett cover. Love that. Those galactic variants were great when they came out a few years ago. I got a bunch of them, and I had to get this one slabbed because love Boba Fett looking like that. Great book. Great book. So, all right. So, moving right along. All right, so I may as well do this. So, here's another one. Okay, so here is Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the 5th printing. And you can tell the 5th printing because it has like the orange down the bottom there, and then in the corner you can see that it's that it says 5th printing. So there's the 5th printing, and I have the 4th printing. Sorry, I left it in the bag. I should have taken it out. Sorry about that. And it's purple. You can see that. So 4th printing. You can tell down in the corner there. And then there was a 3rd printing, which is different, which they call like a design variant that shows off her costume. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the early design variant things that they did. So awesome. So, and then a super tough one to get is this one with the blue printing. See down there? It says right near the 2, it says 2nd printing. This one is super tough to get. It is way less printed than the others. It's not more expensive than the 1st printing, but it's tougher to get. It's I think there's only like a few hundred 9.8s versus like a couple of thousand of the first printing, which I'll show you here. I'm calling this all one book, by the way. So yeah, so I'm cheating like hell, but hey, you know, want to see some comics. I want to show him off of Beauty because he wants to see some books. So yeah, this is the first printing. You can tell by the white at the bottom. And then recently a facsimile came out that does not have this this digital stuff here, and the barcode is a little different. So the facsimile came out not too long ago, I believe this year. So be careful if you're going to get into this book, because a lot of people are passing off facsimile books as the real deal, and they're not. So, oh, and as a little bonus book, I'm going to show this. This is the design variant of Edge of Spider-Verse, third printing, signed by Stan Lee. Just a cool book to have. I think he signed that a couple of years before he passed away. So yeah, pretty nice to have. Cool stuff. All right, moving on. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Almost at the end. So, okay, this is a cool book. This is, let's see. This is Wonder Woman 51, signed by Art Germ. Love that. There's like weather happening. Like I said before, you can see like the breath coming out of here. It's snowing out. It's so cool. And it was funny because I pre-ordered this book when it came out. I pre-ordered from Midtown Comics as a 9.8, and the first few that I saw on eBay that started to sell before I got mine in the mail, Art Germ signed here in black magic marker. And I was like, oh man, why Art Germ? Why are you signing in black marker when it kind of just blends in with like her cape in this area here, and you can barely see it? And I was horrified. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna suck when that comes, right? But this one is actually pretty nice because it is in silver, so it kind of pops out nicely. So nothing really significant happens in this book, just a gorgeous Art Germ cover. I think it's my favorite Wonder Woman cover that he did. I loved it when it came out, and I had to have it. And like I said, a lot of people got some that were signed in black or whatever. And I was just like, dude, you're an artist. How do you not know that? I mean, you know, figure it out. But not to, you know, come down on Art Germ too hard, but geez Louise. I mean, if I got that and this was signed in black right here, if it was somewhere else in the book, maybe, but here in black, man, you wouldn't be able to see it. And it was horrible. And when I saw some of those, I was horrified. But I was so happy when mine came and it was in silver. Okay, we're getting down to the end here, guys. Here we go. All right, yeah, how about this? Marvel Team Up 141. It says up here, CGC puts a mess up here about saying it's tied for the first black suit Spider-Man. I remember this is coming out like a couple weeks later, I believe. Or maybe next week, I don't know. But I don't believe that it is. I think it's Amazing Spider-Man 252. And I'm not talking about industry books. Or I'm not talking about preview books or advertisements or anything like that. I'm just talking about good old-fashioned real comic books. You know a comic book when you see it. So yeah, this is definitely an early black suit one. It says it's tied, but I would say maybe at best, probably the second appearance of it. But I love it. So yeah, because you get Daredevil and Black Widow, all that. So just good stuff. Love this cover. Great. Purple. I love this cover. Absolutely. When I was getting into slab books, I was like, this is definitely one that I have to have. Yeah, it's the older case. I don't mind. It gives it a little charm. Maybe someday I'll break it out and have them break it out and upgrade the reholder thing. But I don't know. It's okay the way it is. It doesn't bother me that much. So, here's a book that's tough. Okay, Jenny Frison, Age of Conan, number 5. I believe this is a 1 in 25. Nothing really special happens in here, but it's one of those books that just came out, and it's super tough to get. I think there's like less than 10, maybe 5 or 6, something like that, in a 9.8. Absolutely love this cover, man. This is I'm not the world's greatest Conan fan, so I don't know if she's called Belit or Belit, so don't beat on me for that. But yeah, man, this is spectacular. I love like all the gold and everything, and I hope that it's showing up nice in the on my video here. But yeah, this is a tough book. Jenny Frison. I think this is one of my favorite Jenny Frison covers out there for me personally. I love it when she does dark-haired women, because when she does ones with the blonde, it looks like some kind of like spaghetti hair. They just don't look right. But when she does women or people with like dark hair like that, absolutely love how it looks. Yeah, man, this is excellent. What a great book this is, man. Happy to have that. Oh, whoo! Here comes one, man. Okay. Moon Knight #1, 1 in 75. Bill Sienkiewicz. Sorry if I may have pronounced that wrong, but I believe that's how you say it. This book is super, super tough, and it is expensive. Yeah, this is one of the crown jewels of my collection. I love this book so much. I love it. Yeah, you can see like the King Tut's gold masks here and here. Let me see. I'll bring it a little closer. Maybe you can, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, right below his hands on each side. Yeah, King Tut, man. This book is super, super tough. I've always wanted this. When I got it, I was so happy. This is one of my favorite books. Just love it so much, man. This thing is awesome. 1 in 75. Just looking at this is bringing me joy, man. This thing, for a modern book and a variant, wow, it's hard to top this. This thing is freaking amazing. Bill Sienkiewicz, what a masterpiece that thing is. Love it. Okay, ooh, cool sign book coming up. Yeah, all right. So this is Star Trek New Visions, number 22, signed by Captain Kirk. Love Captain Kirk, William Shatner. And when I was a kid, I'm definitely more of a Star Wars fan than I am a Star Trek fan, but I used to watch it on TV, Channel 56 in Boston. And man, I love when he sits in like his captain's chair in the original Enterprise spaceship. Man, tremendous. Love that. You can see like the buttons down here and everything. William Shatner. Yeah, he's in his 90s. He's not getting any younger. So I was just happy to have that. Hey, Captain Kirk, he's a pimp. So yeah, also, I was reading about him not too long ago, and it said that he was credited with the first interracial kiss on television with Nichelle Nichols, who recently passed away, Lieutenant Uhura. So yeah, and he's done like T.J. Hooker, and if you ever saw that movie Kingdom of the Spiders, what a piece of trash that was, but that's a guilty pleasure of mine, watching that movie. So where a whole bunch of spiders take over a town, so like thousands of them, millions of them probably. So yeah, man. Oh yeah, and Ambassador from Priceline. So yeah, William Shatner, signed by him. What a great book this is. So happy to have that. All right, we're getting to near the end. Okay, this thing, man. Amazing Spider-Man 252. This is a newsstand edition. This is an expensive book. And this is one of the most significant books in my collection. I love it so much. When I was, the year that this came out, I turned to be a teenager. And then everybody at my junior high school was like totally excited about this because Spider-Man had a black suit. This was before, you know, Venom and you know, Carnage and all this other stuff that they had. It was just interesting because this was 1984 when this came out. And this was awesome, awesome, awesome. This was a tough book to get because it sold out. Even though they printed like a ton of them, for me in Boston, this was tough for me to get. And I have a bunch of them because I tracked them down over the years. So I did manage to get a couple of them. I have a bunch of them raw. I have a 9.6 direct edition of this. But when I started getting into the whole slabbing thing, I was like, this is one of the most historically important comic books in my collection for me. During the time that I was like a kid, during my childhood, I love this book so much, man. This was like just a big deal for me. And this thing is just pure joy. And it's one of the greatest, oh, what a great homage. What cover to Amazing Fantasy 15. Spectacular. I just can't get enough of this. I love it so much. I'm sorry if I'm gushing too much over it, but I do love it. So just wanted to share that with you. Oh, okay. Here we go. This book is really cool. This is one, like I said before, one of the crown jewels of my collection. This is Alex Ross, Captain America, number 34. But it's signed by the co-creator, it says down there, Joe Simon. It's signed by Joe Simon, who co-created Captain America with the legendary Jack Kirby, an immortal. Yeah, oh, and I believe Joe Simon lived to be about 97 years old. He signed this a couple years before he passed away. And I had to get a Joe Simon signature on a 9.8 book because a lot of the books that are signed by him are Silver Age, Copper Age books, where they're like, I don't want to say mid-grade, but a little higher than that, maybe like 7.0, 8.0. But I wanted to get a beautiful 9.8 signature with Joe Simon. And a few years ago, when this came up, I couldn't say no. Alex Ross, just a win-win. Beautiful, beautiful book. This is one of the, oh man, Joe Simon. And yeah, Joe Simon's historically important because he's the guy that gave Stan Lee a job in comic books. So yeah, so think about that. So co-creator of Captain America with the legendary Jack Kirby. Okay, you knew this was coming if you follow my channel. Here it is. Okay, Wonder Woman 28. This is the steampunk 9.8. There are, I believe, 25 on the census, and I've gotten this book in the 9.8 whenever I could, because this was the book that turned me on to Wonder Woman in 2014 when this came out. So I got this at Midtown Comics, and it's a ratio. They had it on the wall. I think I got it for like maybe, it's a 1 in 25, I want to say. And this was at a time when Wonder Woman sales were just not very high. So so I got this book several times. So I got this copy and this one, and I got this one, all 9.8s, and there's this one, and I got one more. So I have this book 5 times in a 9.8. I've never had all 5 of them out together because I usually just keep them in the box. But there you go. The 9.8s are all there. So just showing them all off so you can see. This is one of my favorite books that I have. Just absolutely stunning to have this book. Super rare, super expensive, just beautiful. Cover art by J.G. Jones. There's, I believe, only 25 on the census, and I have 5 of them. So I'm just proud to have that. So, yeah, so this is for Beauty Comics. I'm dedicating this video to him, and I hope he likes it. And it's also because he likes to do that. So please go and see Beauty Comics, because he challenged me to do a top 50, which I know I abused that. I showed more than 50 books, but hey, if you stuck around this long, I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, good stuff. And thank you for watching. And please go subscribe and watch Beauty Comics. Love that guy. He's great. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much for sticking with me and so much for watching. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye.